Love, 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 love. Love is the answer. What is the question? Only love is real. A higher love. So much love. Everything points back to love. Love truth. Love truth equals life. I've been really meditating on what is love. It is like so out there. God is love. Love is everything. The Eskimos have 300 words for love. No, that's snow. We have a lot of different words for love. All your divine qualities come from love. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of like, what is this thing that we call love? And the deepest I can see inside of it is it's what we call the experience of God knowing itself. God knowing itself, that oneness of all that is, knowing itself is love. And that that's like an energetic emanation that happens from that knowing and is the source for all creative power, for all of creation. But God knowing itself isn't the same as God experiencing itself. Because God, cosmos, universe, source, all that is all that is. It's an absolute reality that holds everything. It's like you can't have an experience without a point of relation. That's why they say everything's relative. And this relativeness allows us to have experiences. And so I've been thinking about then, like, okay, so what is truth? And truth is, deepest I can see, is this way that God created these structures and laws of the universe in order to manifest creation from the infinite mind of the creator. And from this point of oneness, in order to have a relation, there had to be two. And that was like the beginning point of God's expansion, taking love energy into creating truth, structures for creation to manifest through. And then two is like polarity, found everywhere. And if we're stuck in just one point, it becomes duality. But then two expands into three, and now there's different dynamics of interactions, and so on and so on. And sacred geometry and all the dimensions and all of creation comes out of that expansion, which is truth that allows something to then be born in a realm of form. All kinds of different forms through the cosmos. And then God gets to manifest into that form and experience itself in relationship to itself without being the all of all that is, that can't experience the all of all that is until it's a point within. So love plus truth equals life, and life is born. And I think about the vastness of what we call the cosmos or the universe. And this process is going on. Universes, galaxies, systems, dimensions, multiverses, with just constant evolvement into more and more creative and complex forms and structures that can be born for it to know itself through. Just life burgeoning, experimentation happening everywhere. Nothing but possibility in creation. And then there's us, the humans, these divine reflections of divine reality. Because we do have this reflection of how that is created. As I've been thinking about it, it's this, we call spiritual expression plane of this knowing of itself and the expression of spirit, of love, and all the many flavors that come from that. that we can express through that knowing of self, knowing of God as self, through self in relationship to everything else. But if we don't know that, then there's a fear that we're all alone and we're separate and that oneness does not exist. And there's a whole range of expressions that come from that too. And we have this beautiful mind and mental realm. And it didn't take me long going down the path of learning as a teenager and studying and exploring to figure out that the subconscious has a huge responsibility for creating our reality. It's big. It's like the thing. And on it, inside of that, there's also all these structures and complexities that create patterns that are based off of, I think, they are solidified into this structure by the types of spirits that we're expressing. It creates paradigms and understandings and beliefs and outlooks and views. And then from that, we end up creating our reality. And then we live out of the experiences that are manifested from that in our physical life. And the problem is, if there's a problem, we don't know that we're creators. We don't know all this stuff is happening. We don't know that what's in here inside of our sovereign realm is actually the source and cause for our creative experience. And so we get caught in habits. That's something the subconscious also holds, habits. And then all of these structures and patterns, they begin to crystallize. And they get kind of concrete, like stuck. And then we end up experiencing the same things over and over through life. And so the cosmos, we are a reflection of the cosmos. It lives in us as much as we live in it, yes. And it can move through us. And it wants to. But we have to clear up some of these crystallized habitual ways of viewing reality, of expressing ourselves, of the behaviors that we do. And I think one of the great ways to open space for that is just by asking. When we don't ask, we just run off the pattern. But when we ask, we open up space. What is love? What brings more love? What is truth? What brings more truth? And what is life? What brings more life? I think asking those questions opens more space for the cosmos to be born through us. Thank you.